All right. It's Friday morning. Just sitting here relaxing. Uh, I had a headache yesterday, and as night got on, I went to bed around 9:30, and I just laid there, and it just got worse and worse and worse. It's turned into a migraine, so I ended up having to eat a little something so I could take some ibuprofen. But it finally went away, and I actually got a really good night's sleep, probably about 6 hours of just pretty good sleep, I think. Which was nice. And I was fighting mania last night, but I feel good this morning. I don't feel the mania trying to come on. I feel relaxed. I feel like I worked through it. My buddy was, so there was work for me today, but I put it off. We're gonna start next week on that. Just because it was so much. Just doing that for the first time in 9 months, doing something unscheduled and working and doing what I did yesterday. I haven't done in 9 months, so it really wore me out. But that's good. I'm trying to. It's good to challenge myself occasionally now that I'm healing, and try to gauge where I'm at. Yeah, so taking it easy today, resting, just relaxing. I just feel very tired. Um, my kitties have been giving me love today. Lots of love this morning, which is nice. What's up, baby? Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I'm processing a lot through. I was thinking about, going back into more detail on some childhood stuff, but at the moment, I think what's going on right now, because I feel myself concentrating on other things, and I think why that is because I am processing a lot right now. So, I will be back doing, as soon as I'm ready, I'll do another video on whatever. I'm like, I've been doing things as I can. I can't put too much on myself. Like, if I try to force doing a childhood video, it probably wouldn't work. But even if I did try and force it, it would probably just wear me out. I mean, completely wear me out. So, I'm not forcing anything with this healing. I'm just being kind to myself. I've been so disciplined and, in certain ways, and just hard on myself my whole life and beating myself up. And, again, like I said, until I told myself I love myself, several months ago, and I just couldn't believe it. Like, I didn't love myself. I hated myself. So, just recognizing that. So that's how I'm taking my healing. I'm not being an abusive healer to myself. I'm not pushing my healing. I'm not being some crazy, come on, go, 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 go. I'm just doing it as it comes. There's no wrong way to do it. The wrong way would be is if I kept on going outside myself to ask for permission or for answers, or, I check outside myself occasionally, rarely, and all I find is just synchronicities with my healing. That's all I'm finding. So again, I have a peace. So the financial thing is off me now. Like, that's off my back, like a monkey on my back, just because I know I have work next week. I'm way behind on things, but I'll catch up. It's just the hamster wheel. It's just good to know. It was really good to know that my buddy is coming through with the work, and still engaging me in conversation. I mean, anybody who's listening to this can only imagine how hard it is to engage me in a conversation. I mean, it's one-sided completely and opinionated, and yeah. So but I'm getting there, man. I'm definitely, certainly getting there. I'm getting better every day, healing every day. Just being able to acknowledge and be honest about things, and not trying to like find something that I need to work on, or I need to drop, and just finding excuses not to, you know what I mean? And finding, like, trying to build a whole plan around why I have to hold on to something, you know? It's easier just to let it go and process that than it is to try to hold on to anything. Um, hmm, hmm. But I am more aware, I'm more comfortable when I speak. I'm getting more calmer in my speech. I mean, it's hard, it's very difficult because I've been such a wordsmith my whole life. Like, so, like, being calm in my speech, because I get severe anxiety. Like, when I speak, I feel like I have to speak. Like, I gotta fucking say everything I need to fucking say immediately. So, still just trying to find my voice. And what's happening, I think, is I've broken down my identity, and I've gotten rid of so many splits and so many false identities that, yes, I am coming into me, but I don't even know who me is, or I'm not comfortable, or, so it's like a whole process. And I'm not trying to make a big deal out of it. I'm just saying that it is a process. Like, I can feel myself coming into me and figuring out who me is, while at the same time, there should not be any figuring out because it's me. So, a lot of forgiving, a lot of letting go, a lot of binds being released, a lot of fog lifting, a lot of clarity being given, a lot of connecting of dots. Now that the financial's gone, like, I have no worries. Like, all my worries are gone. It's like, I mean, this is almost like bliss. Like, the joy this brings me of not having my financials on me at this moment, and knowing that, everything financially will be taken because of my kids. I enjoy my kids. I mean, and I still have a responsibility to them. Um, so just knowing that my financials are fine, so I can continue that, is huge to me, you know? I mean, that's really, I guess that's all that matters, you know? Um, a lot still goes through my head. Like, I'm speaking on a subject, and or thinking on something, and there's I'll go so into like a little detail of that, and then get lost in that detail. Um, so that just tells me I'm still working through things, because what it means to me, and because it gets me stuck, and then I lose my train of thought, and what I'm intuiting that is the reason I'm losing my train of thought, is because there's still unprocessed things, there's still things holding on. So what's happening is my brain is subconsciously grabbing onto these things when I go into a subject, these little things that I've never dealt with, that need to be dealt with and processed, and that's what I'm doing. So it's a complete test of my anxiety constantly, because I just have to constantly just be satisfied that if I died at this moment, this is it, that I'm doing all I can. So with that, I have, yesterday it was great because I got to see how my anxiety levels went up when I interacted with another human, especially someone close to me, especially someone I've known for a long time, especially someone who has their own, views and you know, someone I've been through a lot with. So just throwing that trust out there but at the same time holding fast to what I know and not compromising that at all in any way, shape, or form, other than as a human, not holding so steadfast to things if they mean harming. Like, I'm not trying to harm, the trauma-based learning has to stop, man, at some point in time. The trauma-based learning has to stop, guys. We just got to come at this with pure, like, yes, love and just honesty, peace, love, honesty. And if you do, your peace is going to be upended constantly as you're processing and dealing with these things. But it's just a constant coming back and realization that, it's not you. These are things that were put on you. The whole thing has been put on you. You didn't even ask to be physically born. Think about that one. I mean, goddamn, and you're stuck in this motherfucker dealing with all this shit. So it's really just that. It's like understanding it's being easy with yourself in that manner. Like, yeah, you have fucked up tremendously, bro, but you're fixing it, and you're not doing any more harm. And that's the thing, is not continuing in that, But I will say, man, this calmness that I'm feeling now that I've come so far in recognizing this anxiety, in confronting this anxiety, this calmness that I feel when I'm speaking is just amazing. Like, it really feels good to feel this calm when speaking. And like, I say that and I still have anxiety. Like, my legs are a little tight, my stomach's a little, scrunched up. So I still have anxiety, but I mean, the level of it, you guys, the level of anxiety I used to have was off the charts, man. I was so tightly wound, like, I don't know how anybody could be around me. I don't know how anybody could be around me. I was so tightly wound. Like, anybody who was sensitive, they must, because my energy was just, I was projecting such a strong, like, Tigger, like bouncing, like bouncy, I mean, it wears me out to just think about it, My buddy, when he was texting me this morning, he said, I said, okay, let's schedule for next week. And I was like, have a good day if you can, or get some rest if you can this weekend. And, he's just like, I own my own business, so I can't, and I know, it's the thing. You can't have your cake and eat it too in this world, you can for so long. That's the other thing I noticed, that again, just this false healing that I see everywhere. Like, all these people on YouTube that have like big channels and dress real nice and look all sharp. And I mean, it looks like Jesus came through and put the room together for him. I mean, it's unreal. Like, it's so staged. It's such an act. Like, and they're saying they're spitting truth, but like, I see no humanity in them. It's all polished. And what I'm seeing, why I'm mentioning that, is because, like, the only truth I see is another human interaction, like human to human interaction. That's it. Like, it's fine, I guess it's okay to go outside yourself occasionally and indulge in the entertainment or the knowledge or whatever or getting different perspectives, whatever you want to call it, whatever your excuse is for going outside yourself. I do it too, you know. It's just when I do it now, it makes me so sick now, because now that I've been so honest with myself and I see how simple and easy things are, and I see how at every turn everybody just wants to bamboozle you with their own little knowledge, like their own little ego and their own little knowledge that puts a roof over their head. And it just makes me sick, man, because that's part of the program. Like, that's what I'm trying to say. These people aren't healing. They're keep on talking about healing and how great, but they're talking about how great this life can be and how great this life is. And I'm like, no, it's not. Just because you changed your perspective doesn't mean billions of people are not suffering. Does not mean this whole thing is not set up like a grand Ponzi scheme. Does not mean that your governments and institutions didn't try locking you down for 2 years and put muscles on you and force poison. This shit's all real. Just because you change your perspective, just because you are now an optimist and you have a rosy outlook on life, doesn't change the fact that all this shit's going on. And that's what I'm talking about with the healing, man. Like, these people are, these cocksuckers, anybody who says that they're healed and goes on and is rosy-colored glasses and sitting in a studio and preaching to you daily, just preaching. And you can tell these preachers, man, they just preach. They're just preaching. They're agendas. It's groupthink. It's all the world's so rosy. It just depends on how you look at it. It depends on what you do with what you've been handed. I mean, it's disgusting, guys. And what I'm trying to say is they're sellouts. These people become gatekeepers, whether they knowingly know it or not. These people become gatekeepers because then they start their own channel. They have 100,000 followers. They got this huge following of just blind people. And these people, what they're doing, these people who are supposed to look around, they're just putting this shit on in the background of their life. And I've already done videos showing you guys these gurus and these assholes that do this. And they just put out a bunch of word fucking garble. Just garble, just words. They're just stringing a whole bunch of fucking words together and just boggling your mind with their knowledge and how smart they are and their connection to the divine that you don't have. You know what I mean? It's all about lack. It's all about creating that desire and that need. And these cocksuckers, they're saying they're helping you. And look at them, guys. Look at them real close. Look what they're doing. They shine themselves up real pretty. They get dressed. Their whole fucking background, their whole thing is just all staged. And they're just sitting, they got the perfect points. And, it's just, and then they build up. And then watch them. Keep an eye on them. They'll talk about celebrities. They'll talk about the news. They'll talk about presidents. They'll talk about politics. They'll talk about famous people. And that's an immediate red flag. Anybody who has healed, anybody who has completely healed knows that this shit is all a distraction. If you're talking to people about their healing, you are not going to be talking about all that horse shit. All that distraction. Come on, that's completely against your healing. So I'm just saying, I'm getting worked up because it really fucking chaps my ass when people knowingly beguile and hoodwink people. You know what I mean? For their own benefit, whether that be for their own ego to say, oh, look, people are looking at me, people are following me, or if it's for money, whatever, man. Whatever, agenda driven. Like I listen to a bunch of guys now, like Lion Sword. If you guys haven't checked Lion Sword out, man, he's just a regular dude who's just talking about his experience. I don't agree with him on everything, by far not. But man, the main human core of this shit, guys, you can't deny it. And if you're, if you're following any kind of groupthink, you need to figure your shit out. You are being controlled, manipulated. You are a useful idiot. You are being hoodwinked. You are being used as a gatekeeper, especially if you have come like these assholes that are trying to teach us healing that haven't even healed, that are still supporting an abusive system. And still supporting, having authority over you, and still supporting having, you got to get educated, you got to learn, you have things to learn, you got to learn, you just haven't read enough. I mean, it's crazy, guys. It's crazy. All they are doing, whether they intentionally know it or not, is creating lack. They are trying to tell you that you are not enough and that you need something outside of you. And they have to do that. That's what I'm saying, because by doing this, by not healing all the way, they become part of the matrix. They become part of this realm. And they find their joy in this realm and in the things of this realm. And they have to sell it to everybody else, because that's how they sold their soul. They have to keep selling this horse shit to vulnerable people who are looking for healing and looking for an answer. And they get caught up in these gatekeepers, herded up in these cattle pens with these gatekeepers, and that can be whether you get caught up on the shape of the earth, whether you get caught up on all the satanic shit in Hollywood, whether you get caught up on all the mud flood shit, whether you get caught up on the space shit, whether you get caught up on the scamdemic shit, any of it, the politics, any of it, the religion, any of it. There's so many. I mean, guys, there are literally millions of different rabbit holes to go down that are endless. And that's the only point, is to keep you endlessly searching, endlessly going down rabbit holes. And that's why people, when they find that cattle pen, when they find that gatekeeper that makes them feel, they shut the rest of the world off. They don't, okay, they're like, okay, I've learned enough. This is where I'm staying. I'm staying right here, right here, right here. And they turn on that gatekeeper daily to remind themselves, yes, you're fine. Yes, you're fine. Everything's going to be okay. This is how it is. Because they can't sit with themselves. They're so afraid. They're so afraid to sit with themselves. And that's the only peace you are going to find in this life, is right here with yourself. That's the only peace that passes all understanding. That is the only peace that passes all understanding, is the peace sitting within yourself and being comfortable within yourself, needing nothing, experiencing no lack or desire. That is an amazing feeling. That is what gets me through my anxiety. That is what is changing my life. The realization of how easy this is, But just some thoughts, man, I wanted to get out of my head. Again, I just see the pain and suffering all around me. Again, I'm not depressed. It's not that I'm a negative Nancy. No, it's none of that bullshit. It is just that I am accepting it for what is real. And I'm not, but see, the problem is with me going back into that positive outlook on life and the rose-colored glasses thing is, okay, that's fine if it only affects me making that decision. I have to pay for it in the end, in the next life or whatever. But the fact that I have children, and to know that by me continuing hoodwinking myself, that it isn't just harming myself, it's harming my children and blocking them from their healing, that's the game changer. That's the be-all, tell-all for me. I know, no, don't need to hear anymore. Okay, I'm just letting it all come out, So that's how I'm looking at it. And extremely freeing for me. Extremely freeing. Like, the freedom I have inside of me now is unreal, and it just grows, and it's just something that I haven't ever had, and that I'm experiencing for the first time. And plus, with all the clarity, with all the clarity that's coming with my healing and getting this shit out, and just knowing that I have no base, like I have nobody, nothing in this world that is there to fall back on. Like I've literally just, it is what it is. And it doesn't bother me. You know, the biggest thing that bothers me is just by being financially wrapped up because my kids live in, 30 minutes away. My daughter lives 45 minutes away, 50 minutes away, and my son lives 25 minutes away, 20 minutes away. So by car, so it's not like I can get on my mule, go buy a mule and go and visit, go walking along 66 to Manassas to go see my daughter, anyways, so you can tell these are things that I think deeply about. Like my kids just, like I do. I mean, I've put myself in this position of losing everything and just like, because life wouldn't be worth living if I couldn't see my kids. So how would I see my kids? But anyways, yeah, I'm not harping on that. It just got stuck in my head for a second. But we are so powerful, guys. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. I mean, and the thing that helps me just remember that is every time I look outside myself, like when I'm scrolling through YouTube, and I just see everybody, everything, the whole pushes, the thing that all of them have in common, everything has in common is it's all trying to tell me I need something. I lack something. I'm wrong. I'm doing something. So, when I see that, it just lets me know, holy fuck, man, like, as an individual, we are so fucking powerful. Like, if this whole world is just trying to take our time and attention away from us and try to get us to possess things, and by possessing things, attaching and no longer possessing our own, that part of ourselves because we've attached it to that physical possession. If the whole world is built around that from the time you're born, telling you that you need poisons put into your vein, telling you need to go see a guy in a white lab coat, every year. And I mean, it's all about lack, guys. And if they are working so hard, that's what I'm trying to say. I went all the way back to birth. And what I'm seeing is that this whole thing is just trying to tell you that you lack. And what I'm saying is, from my own personal experience, is I don't lack. And the more I say that and realize that and come to terms with that, the more I realize I have and how powerful I am, and that I don't need anything outside me. And it's such an amazing feeling because it opens up the door in my mind to the possibilities of that. Like, if a soul is actually nurtured from birth on this realm, like how powerful that cocksucker would be. I mean, it would be unbelievable. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it. And they are. So what I'm trying to say is, instead of us being able to utilize that power that we're born with as a soul, the whole world immediately just starts stamping and stomping on us and taking from us and telling us we need things to harness that power and energy away from us. And so by reclaiming it, it scares the shit out of the way. That's the one thing nobody wants you to do. Going inside and healing yourself and taking time for yourself is the one thing nobody wants you to do. Nobody. It's completely free. It scares like your friends and family because they're so used to going outside themselves. And if at any inclination they've been told to go inside of themselves, they are immediately like, nope, gotta go, So it's scary. Nobody wants you healing in this manner. Nobody wants to see somebody healing in the manner in which I'm healing. Nobody wants to see that because it's so fucking against all the dissonance that everybody has. It's so against all the altars that people have created. It's so against the belief systems. It's so against everything. That one act alone is against everything that we've learned or been taught or been pushed. This healing is no joke, man. It is so unbelievably powerful. It is unreal. And the only way you can do it wrong is by denying your instinct when you're being told to heal. Because what I've noticed, you're coming off of programs. You're coming off of years and years of intense programming. Think about that. Think about how strong your soul must be to just keep... That just blows my freaking mind, guys. How strong. Like, God dang, man. That soul must be the most strong freaking thing in this whole realm. Because everything since you're born into this realm has been to tell you that it is nasty and disgusting and it needs things and it's in lack and it... I mean, everything in this realm. Everything. And then this realm is set up so that way once you get to a certain point in a certain field, then you're propped up, right? Then they prop you up. So that way, because once you get to that certain amount of wisdom, knowledge, usually wisdom will come along with it, especially if that knowledge was gained through hard knocks, you're going to gain wisdom. And with that wisdom, you see this shit's all fucked up. So what the game does is the game props you up on this pedestal. So it says, look, you can't give up now. You've already told all these people below you. Look at them all. And they're all down there worshiping you, right? And then it makes it harder to give up your story because you've already committed. And that's what I'm saying. That's where the real courage, that's where you really got to just put the pedal to the metal and put the fucking rubber to the road, man, is in your healing is just going, fuck everything else. Fuck anything I've said before. Fuck all my preconceived notions. Fuck all my preconceived ideas. Fuck all the programming. Fuck everybody. Fuck my mom. Fuck my dad. Fuck my brother. Fuck my sister. Fuck my uncle. Fuck my cousin. Fuck my neighbor. Fuck my friends. Fuck them all. Because, guys, you got to understand, if you are sitting in a program, if you are trying to heal from this shit, you can't do it by having an attachment to any of these things outside yourself. Because when you are trying to do your healing, your brain and your mind is going to try to tell you not to engage in certain types of healing, like being honest and open, and you'll have a draw from somebody outside yourself. And it'll literally keep you blocked from your healing. So you just have to be completely comfortable with the fact that nobody else has the answers. Everybody else is just like you. Everybody else is a beautiful, pure soul just lost the shit in this world. And the people that hurt you, they hurt you because, many different reasons, but let's just talk on a human level. The people that hurt you, they hurt you because they were hurt. The people bamboozle you, they bamboozle you because they were bamboozled. The people that you look up to on pedestals and look for answers, most likely they're just holding on to their dogma because if not, they'd be the emperor with no clothes. And it's shameful and it hurts to admit that you were wrong about an idea or a thing. When you got to go back and tell people, when you have people that look up to you, and that's hard. That's hard. That especially for somebody who takes the responsibility, like, not lightly. That is one of the most difficult things you can do is go back and tell somebody, that it trusts in you that, oh my God, our fundamental fucking thing we were thinking, or, you know, that I've been preaching about is wrong. You know? This is, check this out. This guy. This feral cat a couple months ago comes up here and gives me all the love. But, you know, for anybody who's trying to heal, man, I just want you to know it's, you know, it's the best thing you can do. Just keep on going. Keep on doing it. I mean, what are you going to go back to? This fucking world? Yeah, have fun. Have a great time doing that. But, no, man, it's unequivocally the best thing I've ever done in my life. And if there's anything going through my head, it's like, why didn't I do this before? But I understand. I was bamboozled. I was hoodwinked. I had so much trauma. I had so much Stockholm syndrome from my mom for 20 years, even after I left the house, you know? I mean, I didn't cut my mom off till, 8, 9, 10 years ago, whatever it was. I had so much Stockholm syndrome for Jesus in all these religions, you know? And I kept that at bay, you know, but that was my Stockholm syndrome inside of me. Like, outwardly, I would be like, fuck all that shit. But inwardly, I was still dealing with the whole heaven and hell. Still thinking I was going to hell. You know? Still thinking I was unworthy. Still thinking I had lessons to learn. Still thinking I had knowledge to gain. Still thinking I had Jesus' asses to kiss. You know what I mean? Terrible, man. The hold, that shit has on you. It just grasps onto you and doesn't let go. But it does let go. But you have to be willing to take your healing all the way back. Because if you're only going to take your healing back to when that entity or that thing came onto you, or you made that contract, then you're still living a lie. You're still living in your fabricated universe. You're still living in a fabricated reality with your ego in this fucking realm, supporting this realm. And that's just how I view it right now is, you're either supporting this realm or you're not. And the only way I can see that you cannot support this realm is by just going inside and refusing anything from outside of you. And that's what I'm doing, and it's working for my healing immensely well. Getting rid of all this cognitive dissonance, getting rid of all this splits, all these alters, all these different identities, getting rid of all this confusion, getting rid of all this, having to conform to everybody's ideas of everything, it's just too much, man. And I'm where I'm at now, and it's like water got on my fucking operating system and and when I try to do too much or force anything, I just so just healing, drying out, healing, however you want to look at it. I guess there's different ways to look at it. But yeah, those are my thoughts for the day.